we had this is the first time I had having this guy on in the new year. We rock and roll with Sideline Stories by Chuck Jones, and he up in the studio right now. What's up, Chuck? How you doing, baby?
Hey, what's going on, Sports Shop?
What's up, man? What's up? You have a good holiday?
I'm glad it's over.
Yeah, man. I saw you a lot over the at the John Wall tournament. A lot of stuff was happening over there, man. Holiday tournament.
And I missed that.
Oh, I was exhausted.
Really?
I saw
He worked the whole time.
26 games in 3 days. Back and forth between the women and men. It was a marathon.
Chuck was working. I ain't gonna lie. I saw him.
Anything you saw anything that you like? Ooh, I didn't see that before.
Oh my goodness! Mount Verde could beat Virginia and Carolina right now.
Wow, which team is that? Where they from? They
out of Florida. They
Florida.
have Dayron Sharp, Cade Cunningham, Scotty Barnes.
Yeah. One of the guys going to Carolina.
Is that the team that had what's the guy? He and his brother both played.
No, he played. They got another brother. You talking about Thorn Maker?
Yeah.
Thorn Maker played at Hillcrest.
But
it was McCure Maker. I'm sorry, that's his brother played at Hillcrest. He was there. He
didn't pay for the Patterson TPS, Patterson School.
No, the Patrick School. They have Jonathan Kaminga. He's the number one junior in the country. They have Farrakhan. Noah Farrakhan, he had a rough tournament. It was bad for him. But Mount Verde's coach actually said, "We have more pros than Virginia, so why shouldn't we be able to play better defense than Virginia?" Like he was dead serious about it.
He may have more pros than Virginia.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah, he may have more pros than Virginia.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, Chuck, you guys, we're gonna talk some hoops. You got a guest coming on.
Oh, I have a great guest coming on. I have Rick Lewis, the founder of Phenom Hoops, one of the premier recruiting and camp organizations in the country. They're actually doing a lot of events right now. They had Oak Hill was here a couple of months ago. Crestwood with the number one freshman in the country. Rick is also the father of Tyler Lewis, for some of you North Carolina State fans. Guard from NC State and Butler stand out. So, I'm just happy to have Rick here today.
All right.
Hey, Rick, how you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me on.
Rick, I've been following you for a long time. You've been around for over a decade now. What are some of the biggest changes that you've seen in high school, high school basketball, with all the recruiting changes, with all the things the NCAA is coming in and trying to do?
Well, one of the biggest changes I've seen is the influence of social media in the recruiting process today and the amount of exposure that is available to so many young players. I think what you see today was not made available 10 years ago. And I think it really plays an important part of the recruiting process, both on a positive and a negative point of view.
So negatively, what would you say are some of the negative aspects of that?
Well, it depends on basically when you have prospects out there who use social media. So, and the thing is with young prospects and parents of the players, they have to realize that when they're on social media, it is also their resume. And sometimes what they post on social media in a negative way can also affect their college way of thinking as far as recruiting that prospective recruiter prospect.
Wow. So Rick, that's interesting you say that, because when you first mentioned social media, the first thing I thought about, when somebody, you see a video of somebody breaking somebody down off the dribble and dunking, it goes viral and everybody kind of self-proclaim this guy is a next phenom, so to speak. No pun intended. You can't guard against that, but how do you work through that when you start seeing a bunch of those types of things out on social media?
Well, the main thing with the social media aspect, with so many highlight videos are out there, which is a positive. It does give college coaches a snapshot of what kids can do. But at the same token, they need to use it in a positive and constructive manner. Give you a good case in point. We have at the Phenom Hoop Report, we have over 140 schools that take our service. We have schools in the ACC like, UNC, Duke, NC State, Wake Forest, Virginia. We have schools like Kansas, Texas, Kentucky, Ohio State, Butler. We have schools out on the West Coast that take our service. We have mid-major, low-major, D2, D3s that take our service. And we speak to them quite a bit on a daily basis. I will remember one time when we had a YouTube where a guy went up and made a dunk and was a tremendous play. But afterwards, the guy got in the other opposing player's face.
Yeah.
And I'll never will forget, I had a college coach text me, I will never recruit that player. Just off that body language. And there's an old saying here that I've used quite a bit of recently. There's more scholarship players than there are scholarship spots.
Right.
It's a buyer's market for college coaches. If you think about it, at the high major level, you can overlook a few things. As one college coach told me, if I'm going to recruit a high major prospect, your production better always be better or greater than your problems. When you're looking at prospects at the lower level to mid-major level, you have a lot more to choose from. I mean, think about it. If you're a mid-major school and you're looking for a 6'3" guard, 6'3" guards are dime a dozen. So what do you look for outside of the 6'3" kid who's athletic, who can run and jump, and can shoot? What's the next thing as a college coach that you're going to look for in that prospect?
Right.
A lot of times it's academics. Sometimes it's body language. Sometimes it's mannerisms. Just speaking to a player. Does a player give you eye contact? Does he listen with his eyes? Does he say yes or no, sir? Those are some of the things college coaches look at. They also look at the fact that since it's a buyer's market with college coaches, they will investigate a player, their background, the academics, what kind of player is he on and off the court, what type of parents does he have? Are the parents over the top? Because at the end of the day, a lot of college coaches don't want to bring in problems to their program.
Well, we're on it with Rick Lewis, the founder of Hoop Phenoms, one of the premier recruiting organizations in North Carolina. Rick, I know you're doing a lot of events, but this is one question that I'm just itching to ask. So, I have to ask it while I have you here. Are there any sleeper players or teams out there that, we really need to know about that we're not hearing about right now?
Well, we have an event coming up this Saturday at the City of Oaks Classic, which is going to be at North Raleigh Christian Academy. The one team that I really want to see is a team, South Granville.
Oh, yeah.
They feature Bobby Pettiford. They also have Waukesha Wise. That's a team they're running around right now at 12-0. They're very intriguing. I want to be able to watch them closely this weekend. There's a lot of teams out there, especially in the eastern part of the state, that doesn't get the publicity that some of the other schools in major metropolitan areas, whether it's a Charlotte, a Greensboro, or a Raleigh. And I think there's some very good teams in the eastern part of the state that we really haven't had a chance to look at. Washington County is another one. You have Henderson Collegiate is in their third year of existence as a basketball program. Last year, they was runner-up in the state championship. They came out this year, played a brutal schedule. Now they're 8-6, and they're going to probably compete for a 1A state championship. But there's a lot of teams that fit that mold of whether it's a South Granville, Washington County, Henderson Collegiate, that we need to be aware of.
Wow.
Well, I definitely want you to get over here to see Hillside because, if you don't put them in your report, man, they'll do something to you. So, Rick, I'm going to give you some advice.
Yeah, because I'm looking at your standings here. I see you got Durham Academy listed. I don't see Hillside or any Durham teams listed on any of the reports. In
all fairness, and I'm just going to be quite honest with you, too, a lot of times it's based on a comfort level, whether or not we've seen teams play or not. And a lot of times people, when they do rankings, they will rank teams based on their reputation or their record. And we could do that. But the one thing that we try to do is basically do our rankings based on teams that we've actually seen and players we've actually seen. When you do rankings, it's a very fluid, moving parts equation to it. And it's just somebody's thought process, their opinion. And if we had seen them more times than not, a lot of times, with the people that we vote for at Phenom, they would be in our voting process. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense. To piggyback what you were saying, Justin Wright down there at Farmville Central and all those guys, they beat the Patrick School. I don't care what the score said. There were a couple of calls at the end. I saw them bump Justin out of bounds 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
You know, they beat them. In my book, they should just count that as a win. Those guys, they play so hard down there. So I'm with you when you talk about the Down East guys. We're in the same boat on that one.
Well, Farmville Central's an amazing story. They're just, when you think about it, you know, they had a 42-game win streak into the Patrick School. Patrick School was ranked 4th in the country. If they're the 4th best team in the country, what does it say about the quality of play with Farmville Central and also the teams in North Carolina? And let's talk about Justin Wright. He's crafty. He's going to NC Central. Is a great get for NC Central. You got the junior, Quavian Smith, who's a explosive wing who is a tremendous athlete, can knock down the three-point shot. But the one person that really, to me, deserves a lot of attention, and this is mind-blowing to me, is Shamon Teal.
Yes.
He averaged 24 points a game. He rebounds. He defends. He handles the ball. He distributes. He can score. He can do it all. And I think the young man only has, say, 2 Division II offers. And I've always had the philosophy is you can always tell the quality of a player by the performance he has against quality opponents. You're not going to get a better quality opponent than what he faced against the Patrick School. And he also made the all-tournament team at the John Wall. Wow. So, to me, there's a lot of Division I schools sleeping on this young man. And since that game and since that tournament, I sent out information on him, and the response from some of the coaches, they go, what does he do well? And I basically go back and go, Coach, he does everything well. And you can elaborate from what you saw as well.
Well, Rick, just one last question. What advice would you give a parent or a player trying to get that Division I scholarship or Division II or any scholarship? You know, you have to want who wants you, you know?
Number one, work hard on and off the court. Academics do matter. If you look at the analytics of the number of players that obtain a college scholarship, it's less than 2% of high school players that have an opportunity to play at the collegiate level. So as a student athlete, grades do matter. The better academics you have, the greater chances you have of being recruited, because there are some schools out there that are high academic schools, whether it's a Vanderbilt and the SEC, whether it's a Virginia, or whether it's private schools in North Carolina like a Elon that has a higher level of academics as far as to get in. And that's true like Ivy League schools and schools such as that. For young players, make sure that you put the work in academically as well as on the basketball court. As a rule of thumb, a lot of people have the notion that if I recruit a player who works hard in the classroom, I know he's going to work hard on the basketball court. I think number 2, I think every player needs to run their own race. Don't get caught up in what your friends are getting recruited by. Run your own race and basically enjoy the process. And that's especially hard for parents because I was a parent too, and I went through it. And I recently wrote an article called If I Only Knew Then What I Know Now. I would have went back and enjoyed the process a whole lot more than what I did. I think the other thing too is with young players, develop a wow factor. And what I mean by that is college coaches have a very limited viewing going out and watching a prospect play. I tell kids all the time that they're on stage. The stage is the basketball court. And as a college coach, you're on the sidelines watching a game play. Do something that will create a wow factor with that college coach, whether it's going down, making a tremendous dunk, or playing defense, taking a charge, being vocal.
Oh, yeah.
Do something to create a wow factor and grab the attention of that college coach.
Well, Rick, man, I really appreciate that information. That's something that I think a lot of kids can use, and we really appreciate you coming on and spending a little time with us this morning.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Good job. So, Chuck, you know, I see you got your Vanderbilt basketball shirt, pullover there. Any particular reason why you were in that?
Listen, I'm Vanderbilt and 252 till I die, or until Jerry gets another job.
Well, look, when you go to the Lakers, take me with you. Take me with you. If we going to the Lakers.
We going to the Lakers, we cleaning house. We bringing in Ingram and getting rid of LeBron.